Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds. Kenya, like other countries in the world, is faced with an unprecedented crisis as a result of COVID-19 pandemic.
KenGen is the leading electricity producer in the East African region. Currently, we generate a total of 1,803 megawatts drawn from hydro, geothermal, wind, and thermal. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, we have deployed mechanisms to ensure electricity generation continues uninterrupted during this period of uncertainty. We come to work for you to ensure you have reliable electricity supply even during these hard times.
Asante.
Mujisikie mko nyumbani.
Huyu ni kama hajakula kitu.
Niko na njaa. Haya, ngoja.
Oda. Hapa tunakula mzima. Malenge.
Sizile ndio ungetupatia kuliko hii. Ile ni ya wageni wangu wanakuja.
Lazima tuchore anti. Lala. Oi.
Nini tena?
Liabua akifanya hivi unampatia kitu tamu.
Selector, bigger, tasty, and healthy. And now Selector comes with free Choco Primo drinking chocolate for a limited period of time.
Ile utamu iko hapa, watafurahia sana.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate.
Niko sawa. Ni venye nimetoka clinic na baba Brenda.
Mume wako anakubali mwende hospitali pamoja? Wangu hata nimlipe, hauwezi kubali.
Ilibidi twende na yeye, nipimwe. Yeye apimwe. Kama kuna HIV, nipewe dawa ndio mtoto asipate HIV.
Wanaume wenzangu, kuandamana na mama akienda clinic na pia kujua hali yako ya HIV ni muhimu. Inaonyesha unamjali na pia unajali mtoto wako mtarajiwa. Je, unajijua?
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya korona.
Afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa, where you shop matters.
COVID-19 waste disposal tips. Separate or segregate the waste at source. Use biomedical waste bin liners. Use licensed NEMA biomedical waste handlers for transportation. Use dedicated vehicle to collect COVID-19 waste. In rural areas, disinfect the COVID-19 waste before disposal.
It is important to note that proper waste management is an essential public duty in the fight against COVID-19.
NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.
Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, NUPEA, mandate entails development of nuclear power program for electricity generation in Kenya, carrying out research for development of energy technologies and capacity building for the energy sector.
We at NUPEA join the country in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic We urge our employees to strictly follow guidelines as provided by the government, maintain social distance, and undertake hygiene practices such as hand washing with soap and running water or use of sanitizer, as well as wearing the mask at all the time when in public, including the office. And I urge you to stay safe, fellow Kenyans.
This is NTV.
Well, the last 6 months of the year 2020 have been quite eventful. The COVID-19 pandemic has made it extremely difficult for many, not only here at home, but also across the world. And today marks the last day of the first half of this year. It is Tuesday, the 30th day of June 2020, I beg your pardon. And the Speaker of the National Assembly says he's only aware of 2 members of parliament who have tested positive for COVID-19. We'll give you the latest numbers in the country in a bit, but first let's take a look at your global numbers now. And we begin with the total number of infections worldwide, which stands at 10.5 million. Now the global death toll is just shy of the 511,000. The number of those who have recovered as at this hour is 5.7 million. Let's take you now to Africa, and the total number of infections are at 397,857. The death toll is at 9,941, while the recoveries in Africa go up to close the day at 190,912. Finally, let's take you to the United States now, which continues to register a surge in infections, with the total number standing at 2.7 million. The death toll is at 129,075, while the recoveries are at 1.1 million. Now, this is the same day that Senegal lifted the coronavirus state of emergency. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Tonight, Kenyans are angry that Babu Owino is walking free, yet the man he shot, DJ Evolve, lies in agony.
Ile machungu ninayo siwezi ongea. Mimi huwa naongea tu na Mungu wangu.
We tell you why the case has dragged on and the DPP's pledge. Also tonight, a new report shows that the police are Kenyans' main tormentors in the pandemic.
Walikuwa watano wakanikujia. Vile walinikujia nikapendua pikipiki kurudi town. And then after hiyo sasa ndio wakanipiga hiyo.
Live from the Nation Center, this is NTV Tonight with Ken Mijungu.
Good evening, glad you could join us on NTV Tonight, and Flora Tieno is our sign language interpreter. When we apologize for our tags on the highlights. Let's go to our top story. And last night, right here on NTV, we exclusively shared the plight of Felix Orinda, aka DJ Evolve. Now, 5.5 months after Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino shot him in the neck, today the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has asked the judiciary to fast-track the allocation of the hearing date due to public interest. Now, the DPP's office has further given an idea as to why the case has dragged on longer than it ideally should have been. NTV's Seth Olale with the details of a story that has left many angry and resoundingly demanding justice as they decry what they term as impunity in the government.
Vile nilipata ripoti ya kijana wangu ati amepata accident pale pake pa kazi. Nilikuwa shocked.
The shocking reality that Felix Orinda, alias DJ Evolve, and his family have been thrust into has left many with raw nerves, bitter words, and renewed demands for justice.
Okay, but that's some good progress from before.
Following NTV's exclusive report on the current state and plight of the 27-year-old and his family, the Director of Public Prosecutions has asked the judiciary to fast-track the case due to public interest. Assistant DPP Joseph Mijungu says the ODPP is waiting for the judiciary to give a date for the matter after court sessions for many cases were suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The ODPP says that Babu Owino's prosecution over the attempted murder of DJ Evolve has been slowed down by the inability of the victim to record a statement as the injuries from the close-range gunshot affected his speech. Currently, he has a machine piped to his throat to suctions mucus from his airway. This has helped in his speech, and the sound when he is breathing or speaking can be heard like a low roar.
How are you feeling now? You're doing better. Okay.
Further, Nurdin Haji's office says the investigating officer's report indicates that the victim is paralyzed and has a speech impediment, making it very challenging to record his statement. The MP was arraigned on 20th January and charged with attempted murder and behaving in a disorderly manner. He denied the charge and was released on bond. The prosecutor vehemently opposed the ruling. The matter was scheduled for mention on 20th March this year, but was affected by the COVID-19 related guidelines. Over 40,000 Kenyans have signed an online petition calling on the judiciary to deliver justice to DJ Evolve, who is now bedridden and paralyzed after he was tragically shot by Embakasi East Member of Parliament Paul Ongili or Babu Owino in mid-January. The petitioners are also demanding that Babu Owino incur all medical costs until DJ Evolve fully recovers, as well as setting up of a full public inquiry into the shooting. The last 5.5 months have been extremely difficult for DJ Evolve and his family as a result of a tragic shooting that has not only left him paralyzed but also changed his entire life. Seth Olale, NTV, Nairobi.
Well, that's good progress. The Kenya police are on the spot after they were ranked high as the main perpetrators of violation against human rights. In a report dubbed Pain and Pandemic, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights say between the 17th March and the 6th June, they have recorded 10 cases of loss of life and 87 cases of torture, all implicating the law enforcers. NTV's Sharon Baranga with that report.
Peter Chege from Namalaka in Mombasa County is learning to walk using crutches. He is recovering from physical and mental injuries he says he received from law enforcers. Chege, who operates a boda boda, had just completed his last trip and he was on his way home before he was ambushed by police officers.
Wastukizia tu ndio hawa na wakaweza kunishambulia na kunipiga hadi nikawa nimevunjika mguu.
Chege is among a number of victims who have suffered at the hands of police officers but are scared of reporting their ordeal.
Tumepata visa 43 ambapo ni watu walipigwa na katika sehemu tofauti tofauti ya Coast Region, na namba hii inaashiria kwamba the level of police brutality imeongezeka haswa katika mkoa huu wa Pwani, haswa katika wakati huu wa wa COVID-19.
The Pain and Pandemic Report captured complaints against state agents between 1st March 2020 and 6th June 2020. Out of the 222 complaints related to COVID-19, 91 were against Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, out of which 54 complaints were against Kenya Police Service, 23 against Administration Police, 8 were against the General Service Unit, 4 against area chiefs, and 1 each leveled a complaint against an assistant county commissioner and Kenya Prisons Service.
Cases of torture stand at 80%, which is a worrying situation for us as a country, where we recorded 10 cases of death caused by the police during the enforcement of the various prevention and control measures, but also 87 cases of torture that were perpetuated on members of the public in the process of then enforcing the various directives.
In Kabarnet, Baringo County, Amos Kiprotich is in pain. Kiprotich was shot in the arm by police officers as he was fleeing from them after he was found outside past curfew hours. He operates a bodaboda.
Walikuwa watano wakanikujia. Vile walinikujia nikapendua pikipiki kurudi town. And then after hiyo sasa ndio wakanipiga hiyo bullet hiyo. Wakanipiga kwa mkono ya right.
There were, however, officers who are commended for their service.
The Baringo Central Administration Police Commandant, Mr. Ibrahim Abachila. We also wish to acknowledge Ms. Amina Ramadan, an officer from Embakasi Police Station. Others also include the OCPD and OCS of Mumias Police Station. And lastly, the OCS and Deputy OCS of Akala Police Station also accompanied an injured person following police brutality again.
The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights wants the Inspector General of Police to ensure law enforcement officers uphold human rights in the management and response to the pandemic. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
Away from police brutality, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that all are equal before the law. But informal evidence from Kenya's corridor of justice has disproved this to be a lie and show that justice is purchased by the rich. NTV's Olive Barrows interrogates our rigged system.
Only the rich can get justice. Only the poor cannot escape it. Henry Demarest Lloyd.
So if you don't have equal access to financial resources, access to justice will be problematic for you. And therefore, equality under the law, in terms of access to justice, is a mirage.
Wishful thinking.
The Kenyan justice system does, in fact, favor the rich. Is that a problem created by the rich? No. Is that a problem created by the poor? No. It's a problem created by the system itself. And who controls the system is the political elite.
A political elite that assassinates the judiciary in public for its so-called failure to bring the corrupt to book while falling over themselves to present the accused before the court as virginal, ganging up to profiteer from a system they rigged as lawmakers.
One accused person can hire up to 10 lawyers, and each lawyer insisting that they want to address the court. Effectively, they can slow down or in some instances completely undermine the DPP's ability to mount a serious prosecution against an accused person.
So for all the fire in his belly, where it counts away from the public glare of the cameras in high-profile cases, the Director of Public Prosecutions is almost assuredly outmanned and outgunned.
So some of the people that get out of the criminal justice system, they do not do so because they are innocent, but they do so because they have identified and exploited technical and procedural gaps in the criminal justice system.
Find that his opponent is taking everybody in circles.
A system in which the privileged collude with the lawmaker to pervert the cause of justice. Question is, who will speak for the common man when his member of parliament is busy fighting for the rich man in court?
LSK is also remaining too elitist. Lawyers have remained elitist and impervious to the plight of ordinary Kenyans.
Olive Barrows, NTV.
Now, Chief Justice David Maraga has dismissed claims that he sired a child out of wedlock. Now, this follows an incident where a woman identifying herself as Mary Kwamboka, co-star at the Milimani Law Courts, where she appeared wailing, accusing the Chief Justice of not taking care of their alleged 6-year-old daughter, who was apparently a product of an extramarital affair. She is also demanding over 160,000 shillings from the Chief Justice in child support.
There was drama at the Milimani Law Courts today when a woman raised hell. Mary Kwamboka was screaming and raising grave allegations against the Chief Justice, David Maraga, whom she alleges to have neglected his duties as the father to her child.
I met with Maraga and we had an affair. When? We've been friends from 2013. And now I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Do you have the documents with you?
I have everything.
Have you filed?
I've been filing cases every now and then.
Have you filed a case in court?
He was even summoned by the Children's Department and he refused to honor that one.
The woman produced a birth certificate with Maraga's name as the father of her supposed 6-year-old daughter. But through his legal team led by lawyer Danstan Omari, Maraga dismissed the document as fake.
There is no registrar of births by the name Shamwata in the whole country. Neither has there been an officer called NP Otieno in the Nairobi office, which means that birth certificate is generated. It is not a document to be relied on.
From our investigations, we are not sure if this child exists in the first place. Because if the name of the mother, the purported mother, does not exist in the registrar of births, we cannot say for sure that this child exists.
According to Omari, the case has not been filed before the court, saying that the woman only presented the papers in court for assessment but was unable to pay the filing fee as required. Omari further stated that this was a desperate smear campaign.
This is politics. Now the war is being pushed to the CJ in his personal capacity. Who is the mastermind? We are not really worried about the small girl here who is making noise. We are worried. Who is this?
CJ Maraga's lawyers are writing to the DPP, DCI and all relevant agencies to investigate what they term as a deep state of reputational assault.
Well, Kwamboka seeking justice from the Chief Justice himself, and well, she was at Milimani Law Courts and the Chief Justice sits right here in town at the Judiciary Headquarters. Time now for a short break, but we'll be right back. We still have a lot of stories for you. Stay with us.
The risk of illness-causing germs is increasing. It is believed that the coronavirus can remain on surfaces in your home for up to 9 days. Touching infected surfaces is one of the ways in which germs spread. Regularly disinfect your floors, countertops, and kitchen surfaces with bleach, and use an effective toilet cleaner inside and outside your toilet bowl. This message is brought to you by Medifacts, JIC, and Harpic.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, Maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already living here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pay-saters in real estate.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, Kuwa sort every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Disinfect and protect your home with JIC. JIC kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with JIC bleach. Just JIC it.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Whole life is in my phone.
simu ya baba. Niko na simu ya baba. Mimi niko sawa. Niko na simu ya baba. Kanipicha simu ya baba.
Wa Kenya, hii fight hatukuchagua, lakini tuko na choice. Tuchague kujilinda, tuchague kuprotect familia zetu, tuchague usafi, kuosha mikono, kuosha manyumba zetu, ndio tulinde watoto wetu, na tuvae mask. Future yetu iko mikononi mwetu. Kenya, let's do it for the ones we love.
Our hands, very precious to us. We use them every single second to eat, to wash, to work, to cook, and to carry things. We touch, pray, and show appreciation and support for others with our hands. And because we are in constant use of our hands, it is easy to unknowingly pass on germs from one place or person to another, and we therefore need to take extra care to clean and moisturize them. Amara antibacterial hand wash contains antibacterial properties to guarantee a thorough cleanse, has natural moisturizers that will leave your hands soft and supple, and is laced with the incredibly fresh scents of lilac and orange. Amara cares.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
Now this new intern, can you ask her to come to my place immediately?
Tumekuja hapa sababu ya huyu. Tunataka aoe.
What do you have in mind?
Kuna mtu angependa kuolewa? Na mimi?
I need someone to...
Naona shida yako ni mapenzi, eh?
Umejua aje ilikuwa atafuta bibi?
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
And Shalom Community Hospital in Machakos County has resumed normal services after the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council inspected the facility and allowed it to resume services. Now, this comes just a few days after the hospital recorded a number of coronavirus disease infections leading to its closure. Vincent Oduor expounds.
Barely 3 days after 6 health workers in Shalom Community Hospital tested positive for COVID-19, the facility has now been given a go-ahead to resume normal services. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council CEO Daniel Yumbia okayed the move after being satisfied with the status report by KMPDC inspection team, the hospital's medical officer in charge, and the county government. But Yumbia has directed the hospital management to ensure the entire hospital is disinfected.
Then the CEC is to ensure that all patients who tested positive are transferred to appropriate county facilities, and all patients who tested negative, we have directed that they be discharged to go home under the existing regulations for 14 days, and home quarantine 14 days subject to retesting.
The hospital had over 100 admitted patients at the time of the incident. Hospital staff who tested negative will either be allowed to quarantine at home or resume normal duties.
And the patients and staff whose results are yet to be received must be contained within the hospital until the results come out by tomorrow morning.
The hospital that treats all patients, unfortunately, if we get any patient who have COVID, we will follow the protocols and refer them to COVID zones. We are not a COVID zone.
COVID-19 pandemic has caused Kenyans to avoid seeking treatment from any health facility for any illness for fear of contracting coronavirus. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Now, the Court of Appeal has this morning ordered a retrial in a sexual assault case involving 2 rugby players, that's Frank Wanyama and Alex Olaba. The hearing of the appeal case was held via Zoom due to the coronavirus pandemic. Justice Maraga ordered that the duo be held at the Kilimani police station awaiting fresh bail hearing. Wanyama and Olaba, who have both represented Kenya internationally in rugby, were sentenced to 15 years in prison by the Chief Magistrate Martha Mutuku in August 2019. The duo, who played for Kenya Harlequins, has been found guilty of gang raping a female singer at her birthday party in Nairobi's high-rise estate in 2018. All right, that story is developing, and we'll definitely try and get you as much details as possible, because it's a story of public interest that generated a lot of interest also. And of course, let's see what happens. They are now set to be retried afresh from the beginning. Let's see what happens when they go for the hearing. Now, the Speaker of the National Assembly has confirmed that there are members of Parliament who tested positive for COVID-19. This was shortly after the Ministry of Health gave an update on the situation in the country. Now, today, Kenya recorded 176 new cases, bringing the total to 6,366. 26 more people have also been recorded, and recoveries go to 2039. Now, 4 people have died, bringing the total number of fatalities to 148. Anita Nkonge tells us about the concerns of the lawmakers being infected, a good number of whom have been violating the COVID-19 measures.
Following days of speculation that some members of Parliament had contracted COVID-19, Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi came out and put the rumors to rest.
We have 2 cases of the virus that have been reported among members of Parliament.
According to the Speaker, one MP is better off.
One of the affected members has been attended to and has since been discharged from hospital after testing negative following treatment. The member is currently in self-isolation. The other case has also been attended to, and the member is now in stable condition in the general ward care.
The cases of COVID-19 in Parliament come as no surprise, as numerous public gatherings involving members of Parliament have taken place, despite the COVID-19 regulations banning such. However, according to the Speaker, public gatherings are not to blame.
Members of Parliament, just like any other citizens, are susceptible to the disease. From the daily briefings from the Ministry of Health, it is obvious that the cases are rising in the country, and no one is immune when exposed to the virus, not even members of Parliament, who also live among the communities.
The Speaker went on to urge those who work at Parliament to seek voluntary testing as responsible citizens and to self-isolate and notify the Speaker's office immediately, depending on the results.
All committees are dissuaded from holding physical meetings and instead encouraged to have virtual meetings as practicable as possible. No physical meetings are to be held without complying with the Ministry of Health guidelines and my direct authority.
Even as the world slowly attempts to regain normalcy, Kenya has been left out of a list of countries allowed to travel into the EU, something that the Ministry of Health say they're not aware of.
I don't think I can comment on that. I think this is something we will have to perhaps liaise with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs to find out what is at play here, whether this is a final determination or whether it is a preliminary list. So I will not be able to respond to that.
Algeria, Australia, Canada, Georgia, Japan, Montenegro, Morocco, New Zealand, Rwanda, Serbia, South Korea, Thailand, Tunisia, Uruguay are countries that have been allowed. The decision is based on whether a country has a similar or better epidemiological situation than the EU, as well as similar hygiene and containment issues, bringing into question how well Kenya is doing in curbing the pandemic. Anita Nkonge, NTV.
Right, 24 minutes past the top of the hour. We still have a lot of news for you, including business and sports. When we come back, we'll be doing business. Stay with us.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white clothes, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared, because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
All day, we expect our mouth to do all kinds of things. That is why it needs all-round protection. New Oral-B Pro Health Toothpaste. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because your mouth is doing more than you think. New Oral-B Pro Health. All-round protection for your whole mouth.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
So vile nasema, wacha nikubatie statistics. Niko na gamia 1,500. Tunakuwa drapo gamia na kuwa 6,000. 2,000 natengeneza leather, natengeneza viatu, wallet, kibeti, nauza hapa, na batia wewe 50%. Wacha niweke credit nikupigie.
Namna gani wewe? Hii mambo ya kuishiwa na credit kila saa. Come on. Nunua hiyo simu ya Vodafone. Calling fiber to fiber is 0 shillings per minute. And it is not expensive. Only 2,999 Kenya shillings.
Alo hali wa. Hata fadhali hiyo credit ikae ninunue simu basi.
Faibika leo na Vodafone for only 2,999 Kenya shillings. It will always be free to call fiber to fiber.
We all are looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
Do your gums hurt? Yeah. Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile? All that in one toothpaste? Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums. Colgate Herbal. Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
A blessed life. Get this and more Christian music only on Angaza Music, Africa's first exclusive gospel service. In addition to music, get your best Bible stories, preachings and devotionals, church services, DJ mixes and more. Get Angaza Music for 10 shillings daily plus 50 MB data bundle. Dial *544#, then select option 6 on your Safaricom line. Angaza Music, Baraka Mkononi.
While we begin business with some news that you've all been waiting for, and the government now says it's content with the level of preparedness and adequacy of safety measures that have been taken by the Kenya Airports Authority ahead of the resumption of flights. Yes, you're waiting for it. Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia says the measures taken at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport have been replicated in all airports across the country. Julian Samboko with that report.
Kenya's aviation sector is set to join the rest of the world in the gradual and guarded resumption of business following the disruption occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. The government suspended all flights on March 23, 2020 following a surge in imported cases of COVID-19. Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia says the country is now set to resume flights.
These protocols are in line with the International Civil Aviation, ICAO, and many other international associations like IATA to make sure that we comply, number one, with the international standards, but also number two, we add on what we think is, we add value to ensuring safety of our passengers.
We have made a lot of changes at the airports. As you can see where we stand, there are physical distancing markers scattered all over. We have installed more than 300 sanitization stations, and we continue to add more.
We are waiting very, very anxiously to hear His Excellency, the President, announce the date for takeoff, both domestic and international.
On its part, the national flag carrier Kenya Airways says it is ready for takeoff and assures travelers that COVID-19 prevention measures will be adhered to aboard flights.
There are certain protocols that you need to follow when you come to the airport. Your temperature will be checked. If your temperature is below a certain limit, then you can fly. Your luggage will be, be sanitized. All your hand luggage should be put into your luggage before you go through the check-in.
The board of national flag carrier Kenya Airways estimates that the airline could lose up to 50 billion shillings in revenues by the end of 2020 due to the disruptions associated with the coronavirus pandemic. Julian Amboko, NTV.
And that is good news. And more good news, the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation has increased the coverage limit for the amount that a bank customer can receive in case a bank goes into liquidation from 100,000 shillings to 500,000 shillings. Here's Alex Mwangi with the positive news for customers and what KDIC is doing to mitigate the effects of COVID-19 in the banking sector.
Effective midnight today, in the unlikely event, very unlikely event of any bank put in liquidation, we shall clear with 99% of the depositors by paying them 500,000 and below.
The scaling up of that amount from 100,000 shillings was planned to take effect from the second half of the year and will now provide the bulk of bank customers with the opportunity to recoup all their deposits in case a bank goes under. The leap in the coverage limit expands the level of exposure of the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation from 294 billion shillings to 658 billion shillings. The new coverage limit for customers extends beyond the banking halls.
MFIs, those are our membership, my brother. Our membership is both commercial banks and licensed deposit-taking microfinance. So these interventions also are extended to them.
KDIC receives premiums from banks on an annual basis, which fall due in the month of July. It is now instituting changes to cushion banks from the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
All our premium is invested in government securities, so it is as good as risk-free. We are also alive to the restructuring of the loans that the bank have done, which figure now is 679 billion. That's what the banks have restructured as at last week. So we want to support the banks by giving them a breather for 6 months. So now, the statutory payment of the premium now has been extended to 31st December 2020.
KDIC had been planning to shift to a risk-based premium model for banks as from July. A shift away from the current model where banks pay a flat rate of 0.15% of their total average annual deposits as premium every year. In light of the pandemic, that plan has been put on hold.
The banks already are suffering from some of these. You can see the restructuring of the account. So their risk profile may not reflect the true position of that bank. So we want to give the banks an additional 1 year for us to effect the risk-based premium.
With the revised coverage limit set to move from 100,000 shillings to 500,000 shillings within the next 24 hours, this puts Kenya in second position in Africa, just below Morocco,
when it comes to the amount of money that a single customer can get from a bank in case it gets liquidated. Alex Mwangi, NTV.
Away from that, the Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, that's KUSCO, says that cooperatives from aviation, tourism, horticulture and transport sectors have been some of the hardest hit by the virus as workers in those industries suffer job losses. Now, the SACCOs are battling with massive requests for mass withdrawals, while deposits from members who have been laid off have also reduced. Cooperatives Principal Secretary Ali Nur Ismail says the extent of the impact of the coronavirus on the cooperative movement is yet to be fully established. A study sanctioned by the Cooperative Ministry, once concluded, will provide a clear picture of the interventions needed. Ismail was speaking at the KUSCO headquarters, where he presided over the distribution of financial assistance to low-income SACCO members whose livelihoods have taken a hard hit from COVID-19.
We have been able to reach through this program that for which we are here today, and another we had 2 weeks ago at Tuskegee, 5,000 cooperative households.
In situations where we have the non-salaried people outside the common bond dealing in essential services, we don't have problems of liquidity. But in situations where the sectors that have aforementioned in terms of travel, tourism, were involved as part of the out of the common bond members, then that sector has got liquidity problems. I will not rush to ask SACCOs to unilaterally reduce their interest rates. They can only reschedule the loans and also give a moratorium where necessary.
Now to the update of the story regarding the KRA employees. Joseph Chege Gikonyo, who's an employee of the Kenya Revenue Authority, and his wife Lucy Kagai Stephen were arraigned on Tuesday to take plea on the charges of tax evasion. They both pleaded not guilty. Chege and his wife are alleged to have failed to pay taxes amounting to 38.7 million shillings through their company Gisha Limited. Both are directors at the company, while Chege is also a manager at the Kenya Revenue Authority. The two are being prosecuted under the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Division of the High Court. To the agriculture sector, the government has pledged to look into the management of cooperatives in the coffee sector, where rampant malpractices continue to weigh down the health of the finances for the farmers. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says the government is keen to eliminate the cases of debt in the industry facing factories which are stifling the coffee sector. Munya says the government has set aside money to refurbish a number of coffee mills and provide subsidized inputs to the farmers.
Najua Kiambu kuna mahali libaki kama Githunguri. Kama ni hiyo rende tumeipangia. Lakini kama kuna madeni mengine yametokea hapo baadaye, hiyo tutaenda tuzungumze, tuketi na serikali, tuone kama tunaweza pata pesa ya kusaidia wakulima. Lakini tunataka hii program tuko naye ikae tofauti na madeni. Tutaki ingizwe madeni kwa sababu initiatives zile zingine zote zimeanguka kwa sababu tulianza na mambo ya madeni.
Away from that, Kenya's economic growth slowed down to 4.9% in the first quarter of this year from 5.5% same time last year. Now, this is the slowest pace in 8 years, hit by uncertainty created by the global coronavirus pandemic. This was the slowest first quarter growth since 2012, despite an overall rise in exports, according to data by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. For this and more business news, get your copy of the Business Daily tomorrow. And that's all we had for you on business. Time for another break. Stay with us.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
What makes a Kenyan dental mom powerful?
I encourage my kids to learn new things
And if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful. To fight germs, it's like my own first aid kit.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes to keep them clean and safe from germs.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol, Kenya's #1 antiseptic for fighting germs. Become a powerful Kenyan mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa. Where you shop matters.
Enjoy the naturally appealing taste of our unique fruit blends. Every sip will delight your taste buds as they explode with flavor. It's only natural you invite your family and friends to your kind of world. An exciting world of 6 different flavors to pick from. Represent who you naturally are with Juice Drink. Naturally ours with no added preservatives. A quality product from Bidco Africa.
Explorers of the night, wale wase wa kuhustle usiku, kustreama movies, music mix diehards and gaming fanatics. We've heard you. It is now your time to fly your flag high. Do what you love, mpaka che na Telkom. Join Usiku Sako with Telkom night bundles that allow you rule the night at prices you love. Join our tribe, Usiku Sako Squad. Just dial *544# from your Telkom line and select the night bundle of your dreams. You are the legend the night needs.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Well, sports news with Ida Ringer next. But first, President Uhuru Kenyatta has commended the Nairobi Metropolitan Services for its efforts in improving service delivery in Nairobi County and its environs. The president rated the agency favorably on its 100 days in office, serving as a stain on Governor Mike Sonko's reign. Nuru Abdulaziz reports on the State of the Capital event that the governor did not attend.
These are images of transformation taking place in Nairobi County. It has been 100 days since the national government took over the leadership of Nairobi County under the newly formed Nairobi Metropolitan Service, NMS.
Indeed, I issued several directives to NMS that were to be achieved within 100 days, which period ended on Saturday, the 28th of June this year. The directives I issued were aimed at enhancing service provision in the areas of waste collection and disposal, water and sanitation, housing and urban development, transport and public works.
President Uhuru Kenyatta received the 100 days performance report by the service as he issued his verdict.
But what NMS has demonstrated during this period is that the task before us is not impossible. It is indeed achievable. That the aspirations of the people of Nairobi can and will indeed become a reality.
While this looks good on the new team, it puts a blot on Governor Mike Sonko's track record. The governor was also notably missing at the function. He was in the company of some friends with whom they were, quote, sanitizing their throats in the governor's terms.
There are specific functions like public works and infrastructure which were transferred to the national government. All the projects that you have continued to see were initially either started off or were contracted by the county government, and the governor is so far happy with the impetus that the national government has been able to inject into those processes.
The president challenged NMS to work towards making Nairobi a model city.
NMS has engaged our youth in drainage clearing, waste management and rehabilitation of roads.
President Kenyatta toured some of the agency's projects in Nairobi's informal settlements, as well as the ongoing urban renewal and affordable housing projects in Ngara and Pangani. Nuru Abdulaziz, NTV.
Let's still speak about county governments. The long-drawn battle between governors and the members of the County Assembly over impeachment continues, with this time Nakuru County Assembly threatening to proceed with the planned impeachment motion against Governor Lee Kinyanjui, accusing him of abusing his authority by creating an illegal office of the Deputy Director of Procurement headed by his political appointee. Now this, as the County Assembly of Kirinyaga made good their promise of frustrating Governor Waiguru and hounding her out of the office by slashing sizable sum of administrative and legal fee services budgetary allocation in the county.
While devolution is quietly transforming certain regions of the country, it seemingly appears to be driving a sense of disquiet between governors and the MCAs, as well as threatening the smooth running and development in the counties. The recent ugly face of a broken devolution system, fistfights and clamour for impeachment in several counties, the latest being Nakuru County.
We cannot and shall not give in to any attempts to twist the executive to do that which the law does not allow.
Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui joins a list of county leaders being fought by members of the County Assembly. Led by the Naivasha East Ward Representative Stanley Karanja, Nakuru MCAs have threatened to table a motion to impeach the governor for what they claim is abuse of office. Governor Kinyanjui is accused of creating an illegal office of the Deputy Director of Procurement headed by his political appointee and centralization of procurement processes that has delayed implementation of development projects in the county. Governor Kinyanjui has dared the MCAs to go ahead, accusing them of manipulation. In Kirinyaga County, the County Assembly is trying to show the governor who is boss. Kirinyaga County Assembly has slashed the entire 111 million shillings budget of the County Secretary Office for this financial year. The administrative and legal fees have also been whittled down to 1 million from 60 million shillings. The Assembly's Budget Committee is accusing the Governor Anne Waiguru of non-cooperation and sabotage during the budget-making process.
Mr. Speaker, is it not a shame, Mr. Speaker, to put 60 million for legal services? And you know very well from 2017, the money that you have appropriated for the legal service for the county executive, Mr. Speaker, is more than 100 million, Mr. Speaker.
And after a riveting and compelling drama from the Kitui County Assembly yesterday, Governor Charity Ngilu has a word for the MCAs.
Anybody who attacks devolution is really attacking the very core of the Constitution.
Whatever the message from MCAs to governors or the other way round, one message that will be welcome from the leaders to the constituents is that of guaranteed of service delivery. Tibala Nair, NTV.
Now, 84% of Kenyans from low-income households say that the COVID-19 pandemic has greatly impacted their livelihoods, while 54% are now unemployed. According to TIFA, it's a research firm which conducted the survey, majority of low-income households are now struggling to make ends meet due to the reduced or no income at all. Helen Aura with that report.
COVID-19 has forced Kenyans to adjust to a new way of life, which for many includes lower pay, working from home or losing their jobs. And most of this affected are from low-income households.
We see that more men have been affected in terms of employment because other things being equal, there are more men than women involved, actively involved in the economy. More women, not by far, not all, but more of them are based in the household. So that you find, when we ask the question about the main concern over the next 3 months, if this current situation continues, you see more women than men expecting to be facing the challenge of hunger.
According to a report by TIFA Research, 69% of Kenyans from low-income households have experienced reduction in earnings. 43% have lost their income due to loss of jobs. 22% of households are experiencing an increase in hunger, while 13% are experiencing reduced income due to the rise in the cost of living.
Specifically, in what ways have your daily life changed? We did have 21% in round one who said there's been a restriction of movement. Now this went down to 10% in this current round, which we've released now. So I think it's important. Concern with crime in the context of these restrictions, even with the reduction of curfew hours, is measurable.
9 out of 10 of those who have experienced a loss of income mentioned food and non-alcoholic drinks as the main area in which their spending has been reduced. Education has also been affected by the pandemic as schools are adapting to e-learning, but due to lack of technology, many children from low-income households are unable to attend to the online sessions. Helen Aura, NTV.
Well, Ida Waringa is ready in studio with all the sports. When we come back, she'll be replacing me right here in studio. Stay with us.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology, to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
I'm here for small biasharas, in my hood or beyond. I'm here for my customers, who are sought every time they come through. Put your business on the map with Visa, where you shop matters.
What comes to your mind when you think of the perfect home for your family? Is it the beauty, the comfort, the security, the convenience, or even the affordability? Victory Gardens offers exactly that and much more. It is just 10 minutes drive from Kitengela town and 3.8 kilometers off the tarmac. This gated community project comes with solar street lighting, Maram roads, beautiful trees, 24-hour security, and water connected to every plot. The best part is, families are already living here. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optiven.co.ke.
Optiven Limited, the pacesetters in real estate.
COVID-19 waste disposal tips. Separate or segregate the waste at source. Use biomedical waste bin liners. Use licensed NEMA biomedical waste handlers for transportation. Use dedicated vehicle to collect COVID-19 waste. In rural areas, disinfect the COVID-19 waste before disposal.
It is important to note that proper waste management is an essential public duty in the fight against COVID-19.
NEMA, mazingira yetu, uhai wetu, wajibu wetu.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like?
Now this new intern, can you ask her to come to my place immediately?
Tumekuja hapa sababu ya huyu. Tunataka aoe.
What you have in mind?
Kuna mtu angependa kuolewa? Na mimi.
I need someone to...
Naona shida yako ni mapenzi, eh?
Umejua aje ilikuwa atafuta bibi.
His Excellency Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya is pleased to notify property owners within Kakamega County of his decision to extend a 100% waiver. The waiver has been extended from 1st June to 31st August 2020.
A very good evening to you. Time for the latest happening in the world of sport. We start with rugby, where the national men's sevens team won't get a chance to improve on its current World Seven Series 12th position in the standings after World Rugby declared the 2019-2020 season over due to the global coronavirus pandemic. The Shujas finished with 35 points after 6 tournaments, having reached the main cup quarterfinals in Cape Town and Hamilton. The team also recently parted ways with immediate former technical director and head coach Paul Feeney owing to effects of COVID-19. The decision by World Rugby means that the remaining legs in London, Paris, Singapore and Hong Kong have been cancelled. New Zealand, who won the Cape Town, Hamilton and Vancouver legs, were declared the season's champions, with South Africa second and Fiji third. There will be no relegation from the World Series this year. Well, quite a dramatic day for African football. The 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon will now be played in January 2022 after major changes to the continental football calendar by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. Next year's African Nations Championship, CHAN, originally scheduled for April in Cameroon, has also been pushed forward to 2021. The CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup semi-finals will no longer be played over 2 legs, but will now take place in one-off knockout match followed by a final. The Champions League fixtures will be hosted in Cameroon, with the Confederation Cup taking place in Morocco in September this year. Furthermore, the 2020 Africa Women Cup of Nations AWCON has been cancelled, with the Women's Champions League set to launch in 2021. The changes were announced in a virtual meeting held by the CAF Executive Committee. I wonder what that'll do for player fatigue. Well, former Harambee Stars captain Musa Otieno is hospitalized at Mbagathi Hospital after testing positive for COVID-19. According to reports, Otieno was admitted at Kenyatta National Hospital on Friday and then moved to the government center for treating coronavirus. Among those who have taken to social media to wish him a quick recovery is Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendwa. Otieno, popularly known as Otero, had a stellar career with the national team, featured for Tusker and AFC Leopards, and also played professionally in South Africa. Since COVID-19 hit the country, Otieno has been at the forefront helping vulnerable Kenyans in low-income areas through his Kick-Off to Hope organization. Well, definitely all the best, and we are wishing Musa Otieno a quick recovery. Well, there is a new promise to complete the construction of Ruringo Stadium in Nyeri County by end of September this year. This was pledged by Sports Kenya Director Mwangi Muthee, who toured the stadium accompanied by Nyeri Town MP Ngunjiri Wambogo. The renovation works had stalled for the last 3 years, but construction resumed in May this year after the contractor signed a return to work agreement with the Ministry of Sports. When complete, the 280 million Kenyan shillings project is expected to help nurture the talents of Nyeri County youth and also boost sports tourism.
Athletes coming from Europe to come and camp in Nyeri, to come and train in Nyeri, because Nyeri, there are good hotels, there's good food, people are friendly. So the infrastructure is what is lacking.
I think for me, what disappoints us as Nyerians is that this stadium was supposed to have gone and finished a long time ago. We remember it was launched by the president in June 2017. It was supposed to be done in 6 to 9 months. We are in now 2020 June.
Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen has dedicated his 2020 Best African League One Player of the Year award to his late father, Patrick Osimhen, who passed on weeks ago. The 21-year-old striker, who has been a revelation since moving to Lille last summer from Belgium, was the winner of the prestigious Marc Vivien Foe Award. Osimhen scored 18 goals in all competitions for the club, and he has been linked with a move to several big clubs in Europe. The award is decided by votes of the jury made up of African sports journalists, and it's in honor of the late Cameroon and Olympic Lyon midfielder Marc Vivien Foe, who passed away on the field during the 2003 Confederation Cup. Well, in the solitary English Premier League match lined up tonight, Brighton host Manchester United at 10:15 p.m. The Red Devils' quest for a place in the EPL's top four will be challenged by the 15th placed Seagulls, who in recent weeks have beaten Arsenal and drawn with Leicester, Wolves and Sheffield United. Last night, Burnley moved up to 8th after a hard-fought 1-0 win at Crystal Palace. Sean Dyche's injury-plagued side moved above the Gunners and Sheffield and on to 45 points, level with Tottenham Hotspur, who have played a game less.
So it is back-to-back 1-0 wins for
Well, let's move to Spain now. Defending champions Barcelona welcome third-placed Atletico Madrid to Camp Nou tonight, with Quique Setien's men now playing catch-up in the La Liga title race. The Catalans sit 2 points behind leaders Real Madrid, with Los Blancos having the better head-to-head record with 6 games remaining. This is fourth-place Sevilla take on Leganes. Last night, Getafe kick-started their bid to finish in the top 4 and qualify for the Champions League by beating Real Sociedad 2-1 at home. The victory took Getafe into 5th place in the standings on 52 points, 2 behind Sevilla. Sociedad, who slumped to a 4th successive defeat, lies 7th on the table.
Real Sociedad, architects of their own downfall.
Much more sport tomorrow. Enjoy your viewing. I'm Ida Waringa.
And thanks, Ida. Before we leave, let's show you the headline that will be running tomorrow on the Daily Nation. Here it comes on your screen now. So we have the return of sports betting and the controversial tax on bets placed, which saw not many companies exit till the lucrative Kenyan market has been dropped in the last minute amendments. Take a look at that. That's what to expect tomorrow on your Daily Nation. Make sure you grab your copy tomorrow. And of course, that's where we end NTV tonight. My name is Ken Mijungu. Thanks to Flora Tieno, who has been our sign language interpreter tonight. And tomorrow we're live from the Judiciary headquarters from 9 a.m. So make a date with us, because they're launching something that you really need to be part of. That's the e-filing system of the Judiciary. My colleagues will be there. Idibala Inea will be leading a conversation from the Judiciary. Make sure you tune in to NTV for that tomorrow. And of course, keep it NTV. Have a good night. And don't forget, COVID is still here. So make sure you follow the government directives. Have a good night.